Open any standard history book on Rajasthan, and the narrative focuses immediately on epic military sieges and colossal stone walls. The legacy is defined by legendary Rajput kings like Maharana Pratap and the enduring loyalty of his warhorse, Chetak. These dynastic conflicts played out across the rugged, unforgiving peaks of the Aravalli Range. These royal chronicles record the political shifts of the ruling elite, leaving the mechanics of survival for the millions living outside the palace walls largely unexamined. By focusing solely on the kings and their fortresses, we overlook how an entire society was forced to engineer its own existence in some of the Earth's most extreme conditions. In the Thar Desert, annual rainfall is a statistical anomaly, and summer temperatures regularly exceed human tolerance limits. Yet the typical historical record rarely mentions the farmers, the local engineers, and the nomads who anchored the society in this environment. To understand this region, we have to bypass the palaces and examine the grassroots innovators and local deities who built the true foundation. Every custom and structure in this region was forged by a singular need: to find a way to thrive, or nature suggests life shouldn't exist at all. Thousands of years before any Rajput dynasty claimed territory, ancient Indus Valley settlements like Kalibangan thrived here. These communities established the methods for desert agriculture, civic organization, and trade routes long before the first stone of a medieval fort was cut. That same ancient survival instinct continues to dictate daily life in rural communities today. Instead of organizing around distant monarchs, these villages centered their society around lok devtas, or folk deities like Tejaji. These figures did not rule by decree. They taught essential, practical codes for survival, honoring oral contracts, defending the fragile livestock, and prioritizing the community over individual gain. Through endless cycles of drought and external invasions, those shared moral codes provided the structural integrity that kept the desert communities intact. The most immediate, constant threat to that survival was the absolute lack of water. The response was massive civic engineering, realized in the construction of monumental stepwells, or boweries. The inverted architecture actively funneled every drop of monsoon rain down into a protected basin, while simultaneously creating a shaded, subterranean microclimate to escape the surface heat. That same environmental pressure dictated the region's food. The climate required high-calorie meals that would not spoil without refrigeration, prepared using virtually zero water. Iconic local dishes like dal bati and gate emerged as direct biological solutions to a waterless, heat-blistered terrain. This creates a striking visual paradox. A completely monochrome, sand-swept geography produced an intensely saturated culture. The bright dyes used in local turbans and textiles served as a deliberate visual anchor against the endless, repetitive gold of the desert. We see a similar injection of energy in movement. The Ghumar dance allowed communities to physically reinforce their social bonds through complex communal rhythms. The Kalbelia dance translates the specific, erratic movements of desert snakes into human motion, reflecting a deep observation of their nomadic environment. In a landscape where the horizon often blurs into a single shade of gold, these saturated colors and communal rhythms acted as essential markers of presence, distinguishing a community from the vastness surrounding it. When we return to the massive stone ramparts of places like Jaisalmer, their meaning shifts. They stand as the ultimate architectural monuments to environmental mastery. Over decades, the disparate realms of Marwar, Mewar, and countless desert outposts dissolved their borders to form a single, unified state. Yet none of this cultural architecture is locked away in glass display cases. The history continues to operate locally through active oral traditions and the specific resonance of native stringed instruments. The written genealogies of the ancient kings can only tell us who held power and when they went to war, but the true pulse of the region survives in the geometry of its wells and the inherited values of its villages, the evidence of how millions actually lived and endured.